Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I am going to show you how to make this jumpsuit. Here is a jumpsuit diagram for better explanation. Now here is a jumpsuit tutorial for better explanation. From your shoulder to your ankle is your length. Mine is 63. Now from your shoulder to your waist, which is the normal waist you use while drafting your basic bodice pattern. Mine is 17. Now 17 minus 63, 63 minus 17 is 46, and this 46 is going to be from my waist to my ankle, which is going to be my trouser length, which is 46. Now 17 plus 46 gives you 63 in total, which is your shoulder to your ankle length. Now, because I am going to be adding hemming allowance at the bottom, which I am going to fold in, I am going to add 2 inches. To start this tutorial, I am going to take a marginal line right here. Next thing I'll do is to take ½ inch downwards from this line, because you're going to be joining this to your upper bodice, which is your half length. Now I will just cut this one off so as not to confuse you all. Now from this line, I will be taking all my measurements, not from this place, but here. Now I will take my crotch length. My crotch length is my hip, which is 47, divided by 4, which is 12. Now this is the most important part. You need to add seam allowance for your crotch. That is why you see some pants that go into the butt, in the middle of the butt, or it will be too tight. Now whatever your crotch is, once you divide it by your hip, you add 2 inches to it, and mine is 12 plus 2, that is 14, and that is what I am taking right here as my crotch length. Now next thing I will do is to take my hip measurement. My hip length is 9. From my waist to my hip is 9 inches, and I will take that right there. Now next thing I will do is to take my knee measurement. My waist to knee is 22. I will take my length measurement. The length I am using is 48 inches plus my hemming allowance. On my hip line, I will take my hip circumference divided by 4, and I would also do the same right here on the waistline. Now I will just connect the line. On this line, I will take my waist circumference divided by 4, and I will place it right there. Now I would connect my hip to my waist. Now bear in mind that the fabric I am using has a bit of stretch, and I won't be adding that for this tutorial. If you want to know how to add that, you can go and watch the trouser tutorial, which I'm going to put the link below this video. Now moving on your crotch line, take your thigh circumference divided by 2 and add 1½ inch to that. Now I would connect this 1½ inch to my hip line like this. On my knee line, I will take 1 inch inwards because I want it to have a little bit of shape, and I will connect this to my hip line like this. Now my ankle circumference is 12. If you're making a normal pant, you will divide your ankle by 2, but for this one, since it's going to have like a palazzo kind of shape at the bottom, I will take that 12 inch right there at the bottom. Now I will connect my knee all the way to my ankle like this in a slanted way. Now I would also connect my crotch line to the other ankle line like this. And we are very much done with the front pattern, and I will just cut this out. Now for the back pattern, I will just go on and take a marginal line just like we did for the front, because the pattern is not straight. I will be using the front pattern to retrace and cut out for the back. Now before we do this, we need to add allowance at the back pants so as to avoid mistakes and errors of your pants going into the middle of your butt, and to avoid tightness around the butt area. Now if you're a very slim person, use 1 inch. If you're in between, use 1.5, and if you're making for someone that is very chubby or someone that has a very big butt, use 2 inches. Now for me, I would use 1.5 inches, and that is what I'll place right there at the top of my pattern. I'll place my front pattern on that 1.5 inch line, and next thing I'll do is to retrace my front pattern on my back. Now once I am done retracing, I will take this pattern out. While drafting a pants pattern, the seam allowance always falls at the back. That is why the back pattern is usually bigger than the front. Now, we have 4 pants, that is 2 for the front and 2 for the back. We need 1/2 inch for each side, the hip side and the crotch side, for joining. And that in total is 2 inches. And I'll start taking this 2 inches mark from here. And I'll keep taking that 2 inches mark. Right here, I will take 2.5 inches. Now I will just connect my line like this. Now next thing I will do is take 2 inches right here, and I will connect my crotch line like this. I will just go down by 1/2 inch and create a little bit of curve, and this line is going off. Now I will just keep taking 2 inches all the way down to the bottom. Now I would cut this out. Now I would cut off the marginal line and also the rest. Now connect your slanted line. The back has to have a little bit of slant at the back. Now cut this out. And now I would go on and cut this on my fabric, both the front and the back. And this is the front, which I have cut on my fabric. I just placed my pattern on it and I just cut it out. And also this is the back. I cut out 2 for the front and 2 for the back. Now for the front pattern, I will just fold my pattern over like this and take a marginal line at the top right here. Now next thing I will do is to take 3 inches from the folded edge of my pattern. Next thing I will do is to take my shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I will add 1/2 inch for sleeve joining, and I come down by 1 inch mark for slanting of the shoulder, and I connect it to the 3 inches mark. Now from this 1 inch mark downwards, I will take my armhole, which is 8.5, and I will connect my line. Now on this line, I will take my bust circumference divided by 4. I would connect my line and also take 1/2 inch for seam allowance, because we used 1/2 inch as seam allowance for the pants pattern, and we're going to also use 1/2 inch for seam allowance for the upper length pattern. Now I am taking my shoulder to waist, which is 17 inches. Now I will take 1/2 inch on my pattern so as to join it to my pants, just like we did while drafting the pants pattern. Now on this line, I will take my waist divided by 4, my waist circumference divided by 4, and also add my 1/2 inch for seam allowance. Now bear in mind that this fabric I am using is stretchy, so I won't be adding any dart allowance. Find the midpoint of your armhole, go inwards by 1/2 inch. Now I will connect this from my shoulder and go upwards by 2.5. Now I will just connect this to the 2.5 and connect this, and that is how to connect your armhole line. I would use 4 inches for the neckline width and 3.5 for the neckline depth, and I would connect and create my curve, and I'll just cut this pattern out. While cutting the armhole line, I'll follow this straight line because I will use the same pattern to cut for the front and also the back. I would start creating my slant from my armhole straight up to my neckline, and I will create it in a curvy way. Now we need that slant to go from the neckline like this all the way to this. Now I will just go on and reconnect that line to my neckline, and now we have our one shoulder slant. Now before I cut this out, I need to retrace this armhole on this other part of the armhole side. Now I'll just go on and make a notch at the midpoint of my armhole, and also make a notch at the 2.5. Now that I have my notch at the other side, I would go on and retrace my armhole curve just as it is on the other side. I will just retrace it to that 2.5 notch. Now I would go on and cut this out. Now I will place this on my pattern and I would cut this out, and this is going to be for my back pattern. Now as you can see, I have cut out and I left 1/2 inch at the top right there for biasing, and I cut out the rest as it is. Now that I have cut out my back pattern, I will go on and cut off this armhole curve. Now because the front armhole is usually deeper than the back armhole, note that the smooth part of my pattern is facing the good side of my fabric. Now I'll place this marked part of my pattern on the good side of my fabric. Make sure you do not place the smooth part of your pattern on your fabric, if not you will get 2 backs. So now I will just go on and cut this out. Now I have cut my front pattern out and I left seam allowance at the top right here for biasing. At this point, you can go on and label your fabrics in order to avoid confusion, so you know which one is for the back and which one is for the front. Now I will just go on and bias the neckline part using a piece of fabric. If you don't know how to bias, I have a detailed video on how to bias. You can go and check that out. I will just place my fabric like this and stitch and turn it over and make another stitch underneath. And I have also gone and cut out my sleeve using the basic sleeve pattern. This is from my shoulder to my wrist. If you don't know how to cut your sleeve, I will put the link below for you to see the tutorial. Now the width of this strip of fabric is 5 inches and it is as long as twice my waist, and this is going to be my belt. Now I will fold this over like this and stitch like this, and I will stitch the bottom closed all the way down to the bottom, and also close this up, but I will leave a little bit of space so as to turn this out. Now that I am done biasing the necklines of my fabric, I will go on and join the shoulder together by 1/2 inch. Now, as you can see, I have done that. Next thing I will do now is to attach my sleeve to this. Now I will turn this over like this, and I would attach my sleeve like this, and I would attach it by 1/2 inch. Once you're done attaching your sleeve, you should have this. Now go on and join the two sides together, the sides of the front and the side of the back, and also the sleeve. Now next thing you want to do is go on and fold in the hem of your wrist and stitch. And once you're done doing that, join the sides of your bodice to your sleeve all the way down to the wrist. Now for the pants, I will join my fronts together, my two fronts together, and I will stitch the crotch area by 1/2 inch, and I would also do the same for the back. And now that I am done doing that, I will just go on and place the good sides of the front to the good side of the back, and I will join the crotch parts together and also the bottom parts, the sides together. Now I will go on and stitch and join this by 1/2 inch, and also to the other side and join by 1/2 inch straight to the bottom. Now once you're done doing that, you should have this. As you can see, we are almost done. We are getting there. Now at the bottom of your pants, you need to fold in your hem depending on the allowance you put in. Now just fold in your hem and go on and stitch. As you can see, I have folded in my hem and I have stitched. Now next thing I'll do is to join my waist part together, and I will stitch one side of the pants. Now I will join this by 1/2 inch all the way straight to the bottom. Now as you can see, I have done just that. I would open this up so as to join this to my half length, which is my upper bodice. Just like I said, you need to indicate on your fabric which one is for the front and which one is for the back. Now this is my back and this is my front. Now I would attach my front upper bodice to my pants like this, and I would also attach the back upper bodice to my back pants like this, and I will stitch and join by that 1/2 inch allowance I left on both parts. And once you're done stitching, you should have this, and make sure that the side of your upper bodice matches the side of your pants. And now we will go on and fix the zipper. From your waist joining, go downwards by 4 inch or 4.5 or 5. Now I took 5. Now from here I will stitch, I'll make an overlocking stitch and sew by 1/2 inch all the way down to my pants. Now I have done that, as you can see. Now next thing I will do is to place in my zip. I have a detailed tutorial on how to fix a zip. I'll put the link below so you can see that. I'll fix my zip like this all the way to where my stitch starts, and I would also fix the other part like this all the way to where the stitch starts. Now for my belt, I have stitched it, and I will just go on and turn this out. And once you're done turning this out, you can go on and close up that open part, and I will use a needle and thread to close this up. in such a way that my stitches would not show. So this way I would have a perfect and neat finishing. And that is it, my friends. We are done with the tutorial. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in more tutorial. Please do give this tutorial a thumbs up if you like it, and hope to see you in more videos. See ya.